So now we're here for part 2. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now we're going to be doing part 2 of my eBay book haul. This one is going to be more of a concentrated author book lot because I did buy 2 lots. Here is Joanna Lindsey and also Julie Garwood. Julie Garwood was an author that was unknown to me, but I did know that she wrote a lot of romantic suspense novels, but I'm not really a fan of romantic suspense, so I never really bought her books except for this one book because the cover was just gorgeous. But Lacey from Lacey Book Lovers have done a very good job of blowing up Julie Garwood and told everybody to read The Secret, and everybody read The Secret and everybody loved The Secret to the point that everybody's collecting her historical romances, or at least it's just Jessica and me. So I've collected a Julie Garwood lot that I did see on eBay that I thought was pretty fairly cheap, and then I have a Joanna Lindsey lot because my friends Lacey and Jessica have been collecting Joanna Lindsey and I wanted to join the group. So I bought a lot of Joanna Lindsey novels. So let's quickly go through them once again. So you guys can't see this, but I have like a giant box beside me right now. Upon taking out some of the Julie Garwood books, I realized I never hauled these 4 Highlander novels that I did purchase. I think this one's actually a pirate romance, but this is called Chief Fan by Arnett Lamb, and then it has this step back right here, which is pretty sassy and pretty fun. And then we have our 2 Highlander romances here. These are time travel romances, so they're contemporary romances with time travel mixed with historical romances. It's called Highlander in Her Dreams and also Highlander in Her Bed by Ali McKay. And these 2 books, I don't know where I showed it. I think I showed it on my Instagram stories when I first hauled it. And I actually had a follower tell me that it was her favorite time travel romance and that she needed to buy her copy right away because she wanted to do a reread of it. So I'm really pleased to hear that, because if somebody loved it that much, then it might just mean that I might like it as well. And then we have our last one. It's called Devlin by Erin York, and this one is like a Harlequin historical romance back when they had illustrative covers. Pretty cute, pretty fun. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to keep it though, but hopefully I will. So now moving on to our Julie Garwood books. I have a lot more in the box, but the first book that I have right here is The Bride by Julie Garwood. There is no step back for this one, unfortunately, but perfect condition. I have no idea what it's about. I really don't even know anything about Julie Garwood because I never even read The Secret, but here we are. Then we have this copy of The Prize. I kind of like this cover series that she had going on back in the time when she was like publishing her books. I just like it. It's very pretty. Then we have Guardian Angel. Pretty again. It kind of reminds me of Sailor Moon. Do you guys see it? Like the stuff that like they have like that little thing in the belt. And then Castles, Julie Garwood. Very pretty once again. And then we have Honor Splendor. So very good conditions that I bought it in, and I'm very proud of myself. Now I have a second copy of The Secret. So my friend Desiree actually gave me a copy of The Secret, but it was like the newest cover and I didn't like that one. I wanted the old cover, so I have 2, but guess what? I'm just gonna love them both the same. And then it's beautiful. So this is the original book that Lacey promoted and that everybody loved and everybody wanted to read it. And now everybody's collecting Julia Garwood. So that's influencer on you, because now I'm quickly persuaded and I ended up buying 12. I had a follower actually come into my Instagram DMs and told me like, she recommended you to buy 1 book, but you bought 12. And I'm like, yeah, summary of my life. And then we have The Lion's Lady. Pretty as well. So my friends actually have like the metallic covers of them, and like it has like the models of them, but honestly I don't have them. It's okay. Then we have Gentle Warrior. Very pretty as well. And then moving on, we have some of her like romantic suspense novels. I actually don't know if these are romantic suspense or if these are historical. I think it is. We have Ransom right here. Let's see if there's a step back. Just a boring little step back like this. Not too sexy, not too in your face. Then we have The Prize. Again, no step back, not too fancy, not too in your face. Very tamed covers. And then I have this romantic suspense novel that I ended up not unhauling because I had another book of hers in this series on my shelves. This is not the best condition, so, but you know what, for a book that I'm probably not going to read, it's okay for it to not be that good condition. But if I end up reading it and I do end up liking it so much, I'll probably unhaul this one and buy a new version. Now moving on to our Joanna Lindsey lot. So this lot was huge. I don't even know how many Johanna Lindsey books I bought in this lot, but it was a lot. But let's get started. So the first book I got was When Love Awaits, and it's like this pretty cover with a fake step back. So, you know, if you're on eBay, pay attention to covers like this because it could potentially mean no step back. And then we have a newer version of You Belong to Me. So this is their new covers. It's more tamed, just, you know, a painting for a cover. And then I have our old versions, our old vintage covers, and I must say Gentle Rogue was the one that made me want to collect it because I saw my friends Lacey and Jessica have it, and I really like it. I don't know why, because I think he's a pirate, and I just loved it so much. And this one was a very good condition, so I'm pretty happy about it. If you were to ask me, is Gentle Rogue a good book? I'll tell you it's a mediocre one. Nothing good really happens, nothing really bad happens. It's kind of a disappointing pirate romance, but not a disappointing historical romance cover. And then we have our duplicate copy of Tender Rebel. So I hauled this book already in part 1 of my haul, so I'm probably going to keep this version and unhaul that one because this one is just better condition. I love it. Then we have another 3 books. So let's go with our historical romance cover. So it's The Magic of You, and it's this beautiful step back over here. I really like these dramatic ones. The spine's a little bit cracked, but overall still very good condition. And then A Loving Scandal, which is her newer covers, which is, you know, tamed. But then the step back is not tamed. I love it. It's like a little surprise. And then we have All I Need Is You, and it's like shiny gold, very pretty, very lovely. And then our next 3 historical romances from Johanna Lindsey is Say You Love Me. So I think Say You Love Me is the one Johanna Lindsey book that I loved a lot. It was like a 5 out of 5 star read. I actually read it twice, so that's how you know it's good. And I really liked it. So I really like this one. I also have like the newest cover one on my shelves, but I like to have this one as well because this one's really pretty. If you guys want to know more about this one, it's about like this rich man saving a girl from being auctioned off. He's saving her from a very nasty man. There's rumors about him and how he captures females and tortures them in his basement. So he's very glad that he captured this girl, but he doesn't know what to do with her, and he doesn't really necessarily need a mistress. So he kind of puts her into like this house that he owns, but then he can't stop himself from keep going to visit her. And it's really cute and it's really lovely. I really like it. And then we have Once Upon a Princess. So I actually had a copy of this book that I bought from a thrift shop for $1, and I actually read it already. I no longer have it because I unhauled it because I didn't like the book and I thought it was super boring. But I don't remember the step back being pretty, so maybe like somebody didn't include the step back in the version that I had. I know that me and Lacey hated this book, but still very pretty. Then we have a newer version of Joining, and this is my second copy. And then this one I have a step back with. Joining, the other copy, I didn't have a step back on. Then my next 3 Johanna Lindsey novels, Keeper of the Heart. So this is my second copy once again. And this is a very dramatic step back. And then I have Tender is the Storm, very tamed cover. Still pretty. It's like a matte yellow. I like it. No step back. And then we have another copy of The Pursuit. Beautiful step back with the knit cover. Really enjoy it. And then we have 2 other books. So the first one that I have to show you is The Heir, and a beautiful step back. Honestly, I was really lucky to collect a lot of Johanna Lindsey lots with step backs in them, and I didn't know that they had step backs. Honestly, I didn't really care if they had step backs or not, but step backs are just like an added bonus, and I know step backs are really important to a lot of the historical romance readers that I know, so good for us. And then I have 3 vintage covers of Johanna Lindsey. So Hearts of Flame is the book that I read for the historical romance readathon that me and my friends Lacey and Jessica were hosting. But then I never had a physical copy of it, and I just read it on Kindle Unlimited. So I bought a physical copy. This is my first copy that I bought, and I'm honestly so disappointed in the quality of this book. Like, look at it. It looks like a dog chewed on it, or even worse, something else. But it could be just damage from like furniture. Like maybe this book was like underneath something, and then when it got ripped out, it got ripped out. But nonetheless, this book is definitely going into charity, or I'm just gonna throw it away. But maybe I'll give it to charity since it is a vintage cover and maybe a lot of people do want it. Then I have 2 versions of this book called Love Only Once. And I say 2 versions because if you guys can see, the fonts are different colors, and then the fonts are different colors at the back. So at first I thought it was maybe like sun damage that made the colors change, but when the font at the back is different too, I don't think it's sun damage anymore, and I think it's just 2 different versions, which is pretty cool. So I think I'm gonna keep these 2 versions, even though they're the same covers and they're the same book. And then I have these last Johanna Lindsey novels that I have to show you. This one's called The Present. I don't know why this one, I think this one's a novella, and then this one is a hardcover novella, which is pretty cool too as well. I don't know why I need this because I don't read novellas in historical romance series. I don't know why. Like even like Tessa Dare, I hardly read. Like even with Tessa Dare, an author that I really like, I have no interest in reading her novellas for the books for side characters in the main series or for continuations of like the main character stories. I don't know. And then our last Johanna Lindsey book that I have to show is You Belong to Me, with this beautiful cover here. And I think I already hauled this book, so this is my second copy. So once again, a lot of duplicates. That's what's gonna happen when you buy books off of eBay and you're buying lots. They're gonna be duplicates, and you're gonna be asking the seller, can you take them out of the lot and make the price cheaper because I already have copies of it, or you're just gonna end up buying it and then you're just gonna sell it off again. And then the last book I have to show you is not a Johanna Lindsey or Julie Garwood book, but it's part of another lot that I bought. And this one is The Christmas Heiress by Adrienne Basso, and this one is so pretty. I love it so much, and I also love Christmas historical romances. Okay, so it's a different day, as you clearly can tell by my makeup and also by my hair and my shirt. But basically I filmed that part of the video, and I realized that that video was actually very short. It was only 13 minutes of footage, and that's not long enough for me to make a video. And it just so happened that a couple of days later I received some of my other eBay lot hauls, and I decided to just combine it all. So continuing on with our haul, I got a few like Highlander romances here that I have to show you. So once again, I went on eBay and I found a Highlander themed lot, and this one isn't Highlander themed, but this one is actually a vintage cover of Johanna Lindsey's book When Love Awaits. And I really like this cover because obviously like he's bare-chested. I think he might actually be naked, to be honest, because I can't see his pants on this. I love the cover of this one. Pretty good condition once again. It's just the spine's a little bit cracked, but I'm okay with that. Then the next book that I have to show you is Night of Desire by Margaret Mallory. I think I've seen Margaret's books somewhere on the bookshelves in bookstores when I used to go to bookstores, and I'm interested in reading her books, and especially because this book is about a knight. I've never read a historical romance taking place in medieval times before, so I'm excited to read about this one. Then I have a copy of Lindsay Sands' Devil of the Highlands. Now Lindsay Sands is a historical romance author and also a very famous paranormal romance author. She writes a ton of books. She wrote a lot of paranormal vampire romances, and also she has a fair share of historical romances. I have read some of her books before, and I find them average. Like I don't find them to be my favorite, but she always has the ability to write chemistry, and she always has the ability to make it seem very intense and sensual. So I'm excited to pick up some Highlander romances from her. I think she has like this whole Highlander series that's super long now. So I don't know what book number this one is, but this one is like a half cover with like the step back revealed. So I'm excited to read this one as well. And then the back is just the couple kissing and embracing each other. Then I have this beautiful lot that inspired me to buy this lot in the first place. So usually when I look at a lot, I find some titles that I actually really want to pick up, and then that's what triggers me to buying a lot, no matter like the other titles. So sometimes I buy a lot of 6, but I actually want only 3 of them, and then the other 3 are just bonus extra ones, even though I'm still paying for them. So this series is from Veronica Wolf, and this one is a time travel historical romance. My weakness is time travel historical romances. I just love the magic in time travel romances. I love how confused characters are when they go back into the olden days, and they have people to help them adapt to the historical times. So the first book in the series that I purchased is Sword of the Highlands, and it's just like a simple cover like this one. Then we have Master of the Highlands, and then we have Warrior of the Highlands. And I don't think that this is actually the complete series. I think there are still a couple more books in the series for me to collect, but I'm just gonna stop it here, and I'm just gonna purchase only these ones for now. And then if I do end up really enjoying the series, I'm gonna see if I can finish and complete the series. Super excited for these copies. They're in perfect conditions. Like the spine is not even cracked. And then I have a Mary Below book called Then Comes Seduction. I hauled this book a couple of days ago or something, and lots of people have been telling me that this series is really good. And I know my friend Bree from In Love with Words has a couple of these books in the series from her last haul, so I'm excited to read this one. I did before have a lot of Mary's books, but unfortunately I unhauled them because I didn't find them interesting, or I didn't find that the covers were appealing. So maybe if I read this one, I'll regret that I unhauled her books. So for the last stack of books, this is actually my Victoria Alexander stack. So I really like Victoria Alexander as an author, not because I read her books before, but because I like her name, I like her covers, and I like her synopsises. So I wanted to do like a collection of her books. So the first book that I purchased was this one called Believe, and it just has a beautiful step back like this as well. So I really like step backs that have like double pages because it just makes it seem more pretty and more glamorous. The back is like this too as well. Fairly good condition, not the worst. Then we have Let It Love, and then once again I have this step back here. And I've been really lucky with my Victoria Alexander books of getting actual step backs, because I know that some of her books don't have step backs nowadays. So this one is a copy of a book that I already have, so this is my duplicate copy, but my version is a newer version, so it didn't come with a step back. So this one actually does have the step back. This book is called Seduction of a Proper Gentleman, and I just love the cover of this because she's undoing her corset, super sexy, super pretty, and then inside is gorgeous like this one as well, and then the back is like this. So this one is obviously like worse condition than my new copy that I purchased from the bookstore, but I think I'm still going to keep this one because of the step back. Then we have a book called The Emperor's New Clothes, and I was really attracted to the title of this book because it's like based on that famous story, and I just really wanted to know what this book is about. Maybe it does have to deal with royalty. I love royalty historical romances. They're super cute. The back is like this, and then the spine's a little bit damaged. So for my Victoria Alexander lots, the books are well loved, which is fine with me. Then we have Secrets of a Proper Lady. And then once again, we have a gorgeous step back like this. And then the back is just simple synopsis. And then we have What a Lady Wants. So this one's like a darker theme, and like it looks more mysterious, and it still has a beautiful like step back like this one as well. Gorgeous as well. Next we have My Wicked Little Lies, and this one unfortunately has a fake step back, so I actually never mind, it actually does have a step back, and it's gorgeous. I really like step backs that are very close up because it's really pretty, but looking very closely you can actually see that slipped underneath her garter belt is a gun. So now I'm really interested in this book, and I'm excited to read this one. Then we have A Little Bit Wicked, so it follows the garter theme, and she has a garter underneath, and then it's this red sensual book. I love it so much. And then the back is just normal like this. And then we have Her Highness My Wife, and I think this is another royalty romance, and I'm excited to read it because I love royalties. And this one has like kind of like a peephole in here where it kind of translates to the step back. So then if you close it, it's like the mirror, but then you open it, it's right there. So I'm pretty excited to read this one as well. Gorgeous condition. The spine is not cracked at all. And then finally, this is one of my favorite titles I have read like or have seen in historical romances. It's called The Princess and the Pea. I absolutely love that fairy tale, so I'm excited to read a historical romance that might be based on the story that I read growing up as a child. So this is also from Victoria Alexander. Unfortunately, there's no step back to this, and there's no back cover to this, but it's gorgeous. So the next 3 books that I want to show you is actually books that are not historical romances. So for eBay, I actually went ahead and looked for books that I've read growing up as a child that I didn't have the opportunity to buy because I used to go to the library more often than actually buying books, and I didn't have the financial means to go buy books. So I borrowed a lot of books from the library. So some of them are like my childhood favorites, and some of them are like my high school romance favorites. For this series, it's not really like my high school favorites, but these books were actually released during my high school years, so now they're kind of like out of print. It's very hard to find, and so I found them on eBay, and I wanted to collect them since I do have a few of these books on my shelves. So this book is actually part of the Nerd series, I think it's called, from Vicki Thompson, and she's a very popular contemporary romance author. So one of the books that I purchased in her series was The Nerd Who Loved Me, and then the step back is just words with a picture like that on it. and then the back is like this. For romances, I really like characters that are smart and nerdy because intelligence is the new sexy, according to Irene Adler from Sherlock from BBC. And I love nerds because they're just so smart. They're so quirky and they're so cute a lot of the times, and they don't know like what's happening when a really attractive girl actually really likes them because they're almost always like socially awkward. But I love that trope. And then we have Nerd Gone Wild. And these step backs aren't that interesting. I mean, like, they're just like little cartoons here and there. There's nothing really to show off. Excellent condition. The spines are not cracked at all. It makes me feel like that the person before me didn't actually read them. And then we have Nerd in Shining Armor. So this is actually my second copy that I received. So this book was only a 3-book lot, and I got 2 of the 3 books that I actually didn't have, so which is pretty good. This one will probably end up in the donation bin. But anyways, that is it for the eBay book haul part 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and thank you so much for everybody who has been so supportive of me in my part 1 book haul and been telling me that my covers are very pretty. Hopefully you guys can find some really nice titles that you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.